Welcome back to the channel, Sunshines. This week we will be planning a Valentine's date for your best friend, your boo thing, your sneaky link. I'm just kidding. I have always been asked to be my boyfriend's Valentine every year, so this year I thought I'd switch it around and ask him to be my Valentine. This year Nintendo announced the Animal Crossing New Horizons Aquarium Tour dates. We used to play this game together a lot during COVID, so I'm so excited to go to this with him. The experience is included with the general admission tickets, so no need to pay anything extra. This year they will be in Florida, California, Texas, New Jersey, Michigan, Minnesota, Arizona, North Carolina, and Missouri. I've included each location and the dates for them. Please keep in mind that there are specific dates that they will have to do meet and greets with Isabelle, Tom Nook, and KK Slider, so make sure that you check in with your specific aquarium to know what days to go to if you want to meet them. Now, in general, throughout the museum, they will have standees of characters that you all know and love, and critter panels that are descriptions presented by Blathers. There will also be an Animal Crossing background for photo opportunities, a stamp rally to collect stamps throughout your experience, a gift shop to purchase official Animal Crossing merchandise, and a Nintendo kiosk where you can earn free platinum points. So, a really cute experience if you love Animal Crossing, especially since the new update just came out. To start off with this gift, I wanted to make something related to Brewster's coffee. I got these two flavors, caramel and French vanilla iced lattes from Aldi's. He likes these because it is a cheaper option for him to drink on his way to work compared to stopping at like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. So I thought it would be cute to add these tags I made in Photoshop. I just made a brown rectangle and put Brewster's logo on top. I had to measure the bottle to make sure that I made it long enough and tall enough to cover the sticker on the bottle. For this specific bottle, I made it 9.5 inches by 3 inches, and I had to print it on regular printer paper because I need it to be flexible to wrap around the bottles. The cardstock paper was too difficult to bend around it. Now these bottles aren't completely round, so it may not line up completely perfect in the back, but that's okay, it will still look really nice from the front. To make this easier on myself, I just used double-sided tape on the ends and the middle, and I had no problem with it sticking to the bottle. This is what they turned out to look like. It is beautiful. Next up, I wanted to show you guys a website that I got cute Animal Crossing Valentine Day cards from. If you Google Play Nintendo, a website will come up with so many cute little things like puzzles, crafts, coloring sheets, wallpapers for games like Animal Crossing, Mario, Kirby, Pokemon, so many different things. These are great if you're planning birthdays or need Valentine ideas because they have a Printables section. I will be downloading this Animal Crossing printable here as well as these Valentine cards. So take a look around the website. You might find some cute things that you could use. This is what it looks like when I printed out the cards. I'm going to use the Tom Nook one that says, "Bells are sweet, but you're the real treasure." It's so corny, but so up my alley, and I know my boyfriend will get a kick out of it. Moving on to our sign. I bought these brown craft cardstock paper that I thought would be a nice background to match the Animal Crossing logo. Now for the letters, I made them the same color as the text in the logo, and I tried to find the most similar font I could find. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to use the same font. I think it was called Lemonade Peach. For the sizing, I just made them as big as I could. I used Microsoft Word to type out "Will you be my Val?" because honestly, I didn't feel like writing out the whole word. Now, to make sure that each square would be the same size, I had to take the largest letter I had and base it off of that so everything would fit. For me, the Y and the W was the biggest, so I used it as a guide to how tall it needed to be. From there, it was super easy to make the rest. I just used the first square as my template and cut out as many as I needed for the rest of the letters. Once you have your backgrounds cut out, you'll go ahead and use my best friend, the double-sided tape, to tape the letters down, and use a hole puncher to punch a hole in each corner where your string will be going through. Repeat this for all of your letters, and at the end, you're going to string your signs like this using whatever string you have. If you want to secure the positioning without them sliding around, you can also flip it over and use tape to tape them to the string so that they don't move too much. Once I had that part done, I cut out the characters that I printed from the Nintendo website and colored them in with my markers. I forgot to put something down underneath them, so marker got all over my desk. Don't be like me, be careful if you're using markers. You could probably purchase Animal Crossing decor or find ones already colored in, but this option was free $99, assuming you have a printer, and I think coloring it myself gives it a cute homemade look. Now, here's a headband that I made a few years ago for when we dressed up as Tom Nook and Isabelle for Halloween. I only have a YouTube short on how I made it, but I'll include it in the description box if you're interested to see how that went. It came out super cute. I'll let him decide if he wants to wear it when we go to the aquarium, but I had to dig it up with our old shirts that we also still had. I'll also include the link to where we got those. For the price, I thought it was a decent quality. It's on the thinner side and not too much stretch to it, so we sized up just to have some extra room in the arm area. Since we did buy these a few years ago, hopefully the quality is still pretty good, but they're solid options if you want to wear them. I'll probably keep mine open and put like a cute tank top underneath. I also still had leftover bells from when we did dress up, so if you want to make Isabelle's hair tie, all you need is some bells. I think I found these in the art section and a red ribbon. On the bells themselves, they have a little slot at the top that you can feed the ribbon through. You'll just need to make sure that the ribbon is thin enough to fit through it because this opening is not too big, and just use a lighter to light the ends of it so your ribbon doesn't fray. And boom, so easy. You can just wrap this around a cute bun or ponytail if you want. Next up is the bell bag. I craft so much that I already had these supplies. I just used whatever I had on hand. You may recognize this material when I previously made my peak costume. I had leftover material from the blanket I used for the backpack. I always check the clearance section in whatever places that sell fabrics and find a close match, or if they have a scrap section, you may get lucky there. I am using the same red ribbon from before, and I grabbed this Ferrero Rocher candy from Aldi's because it was around $5 and some change, and this one is one of my boyfriend's favorites. I grabbed some see-through bags as well so that I can contain the candy to try to keep it as round as possible. For the star part, I randomly had this star cut out from a previous project, and it literally is the last of my brown felt, so I'll need to cut it down to a smaller star to fit. First, I'm going to put my candy into the bag. I'm confused, did these always have QR codes on the bottom of them? Why would they have them on each one? I don't know, a little strange. Anyways, once you have your candy in, you're gonna tie it up and get your material ready. So for mine specifically, it has a soft fuzzy side and a more matted side. The matted side is what is going to be on the inside of the bag. I had no idea what size I needed this to be, so I made 2 circles. The inner circle, I just traced a paper plate to get a perfect circle, and then made an outer circle around that just in case I needed it to be a little larger to fit the candy. So I started off with the outer circle to gauge kind of where I was at. To test it, I just put my candy inside and started to fold the fabric nicely around the candy. I actually thought it looked perfect already, so I cut off the excess on the candy bag and grabbed the red ribbon to wrap around my bell bag. You'll need the ribbon long enough to tie around it and to tie it into a cute bow. This will all depend on how big your bell bag is. Again, nicely fold the material so it has a nice little floof at the top for presentation's sake. This material is a little thicker, so it was easier to manipulate on how I wanted it to be. When you're tying your bow, go ahead and just wrap the ribbon around and make a knot first. This will hold it closed while you meticulously craft your bow. I literally just tie it like I tie my shoe, nothing fancy. Just keep adjusting it until it looks like how you want it to look. Once you're done, you'll cut down the ends. For me, I cut it slanted and grab a lighter. Please be careful. If you're not an adult, get an adult to help you. Or if you're an adult, get another adult just in case. Just always be careful when handling flames. You want to go over it very carefully and quickly. Moving on to the star part, I can't make a star to save my life. They always look a little wonky or uneven, so I had to draw out a template to make sure that it was small enough. Once I got the sizing right, I just cut it out, glued her on with a hot glue gun, and bam! Look how cute she looks. Oh, I'm in love. So now, we're going to go into the cute little details of this gift. For this, I went to dodoairlines.com. This is a fan-made website that allows you to create boarding passes, passports, and a few little extra things. First, we're going to make our boarding pass so you can input your name, where you guys will be starting to where you're going, the date, the time, the seat number. If you select display to print, it'll pop up a window for you to print it immediately, or you can choose to download the actual file itself if you want to keep it on your computer. I made one for both my boyfriend and I. For the passport, you'll put in your name, an imaginary friend code, an island name. I just put where we first met each other, choose up to 6 stamps, and choose a character for your passport. Again, I made one for each of us and downloaded it because I wanted to make another graphic for the front of our passport. This website only includes the inside of it. So using Photoshop, I created my own front using the beach scene. I added the Dodo Airlines logo with some passport text, and honestly, it came out so cute. These are the other options you can use in the website, but I just used it for the passport and the boarding passes. When I printed these out, I printed it on some cardstock, and this is how it came out. For the passports, I had to make sure it printed double-sided. This part wrecked my brain a little to remember how to correctly feed it back into the printer for it to fold correctly later. I had to do some test trials before committing with the good paper, but I wanted to keep them a little smaller because I needed everything to fit in the box nicely, and I think this was a good size. I just made it large enough for them to both fit next to each other in Microsoft Word. Once you're done, you can just fold them in half and boom, 2 custom Animal Crossing passports for you and your partner. Now on to the trickier part. I wanted to make him his favorite cookies, so I wanted to create a custom cooking recipe card. This will require a little bit of knowledge of Photoshop and Canva. So for the front of the card, I grabbed a random whisk on Canva and put a brown rectangle over it. For the background, I just used a rounded edge rectangle for the yellow and an off-white for the border and saved this image as a JPEG. Then I grabbed a screenshot of a recipe card from the game and edited it in Photoshop to reflect my cookie recipe. Once I had that graphic, I put both of them in Microsoft Word and made sure I printed it correctly so it would be double-sided. It didn't line up perfectly, but it was pretty close. This one was probably the most time-consuming to do, so if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I would love to try to help you out. I did screw up on the card. I forgot to change it to a quantity of 2 eggs, but that's okay. I was so impressed on how this came out, and the boyfriend absolutely loved the amount of detail that was in this box. This next part included a baking sesh, and I bought these small little Valentine treat boxes, which were the perfect size to fit a few cookies in. These cookies are the same ones I made during Christmas and are the same recipe for my Grinch cookies that I make. The only difference is that I added in a little bit of red coloring to make it pink instead of green. I'll include the full recipe in the description box if you're interested in making them. They're so simple, so tasty to make. I even love how this little box has a little window cut out that you can see the treats peeking through. It took me a couple tries to figure out how this is supposed to go, because apparently the cheaper you get things, the less chances they come with instructions. So I just origamied the box the best I could. For the inside, I lined it with a little bit of parchment paper and stacked my cookies inside. Again, the little peekaboo window was my favorite part, and it's so stinking cute. For underneath my gift box, I'll be laying these rose petals down for the aesthetic, and I found some red balloons for my box. If you've ever played Animal Crossing, you know that balloon presents are a thing, and since I don't have any helium, I just bought some balloon sticks to stick my balloon onto my box. I didn't need 20 of them, but that's the only thing they offered, so I just went with it. I'm going to use the little balloon holder on the top and the bottom, so I have a surface to attach the stick to my box. Now for the box itself, I grabbed this adjustable cake box that was 12 by 12 by 6. I did see later on they had a nicer one at Michael's, but that's okay. This worked just as well and it wasn't expensive. At first, I was a little confused what was going on here, but then I used this big forehead of mine to figure it out. Once I had the base, I decided to line it with the Valentine tissue paper I got from the Dollar Tree. Whenever I use shredded paper, I like to line it with some tissue paper first so that I can easily take it back out and reuse the shredded paper in the future because it's still good. I just used 2 bags of shredded paper for this box, and I carefully crafted how I wanted the inside to look. So I had my box of cookies, 2 bottles of Brewster's coffee, the tickets to our aquarium date, the 2 custom passports, our boarding passes. I forgot about the bell bag, so I put that in as well, the cute little Tom Nook Valentine card, and our recipe card. To tie up our box, I had this red ribbon from probably 10 years ago because I buy ribbon whenever it goes on sale during the holidays, and I wait for the perfect moment when I actually need it. I didn't film it because I needed my full focus on tying this ribbon, but this is what it came out like in the end. I just crudely taped the balloon stand underneath the ribbon. For the ribbon, I recommend one that is very flexible and soft, but still has that little thin wiring in the edges so you can fluff it out and it'll still hold its shape. The ribbon size was also thick enough to cover the notches on the side of the box, so this was literally perfect. And finally, it was time to put everything together. Not gonna lie, it was so difficult trying to put this up by myself. Usually I have a helper, but we did pretty good. Honestly, just put some jams on and went to town. Are you guys ready for the big reveal? Can I get a drum roll, please? And ta-da! She's gorgeous. He loved every single thing, and I can't wait for our Animal Crossing Aquarium date night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and for supporting the channel. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Love you guys. Bye.